Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, everybody. I am back with yet another rant about things that shouldn't really be happening within communities that are supposed to be safe and like safe spaces. Let's get into it. So today, I'll probably sprinkle in some screenshots here and there since I'm trying to update my editing skills. But today, I went on a really nice shopping trip with one of my best friends. They actually got me this really cute vintage perfume. It's a little purse. It's super cute and it smells super good. They also got me this little spoon. I love it so much. Oh, and they got me incense. I got it because I thought the name was funny. But I at home and like right before we went shopping, they had invited me to a Discord server, and they had some pretty basic rules. I'll pop them up here. You guys can read them. But the thing that pointed out the most to me was the one about no serious discussions about drugs. Great. No serious discussions about doing drugs. I can do that. I don't really like those that much either. But I'll make jokes about it. So I get onto a voice chat with my friend. They're begging me to hop on. I make like a couple jokes throughout like the hour that I'm in there, and the owner of the server, is always like dead ass, making that face. Oh, my dog's whining. And just making that face. And every time they do it, I'm like, oh crap, I think I'm doing something wrong. And they're getting mad at me for making jokes about drugs. This is gonna come up later. So this person then goes on and is all like, so I wait, rewind, fast forward. After I went shopping, because I got off the call when I left to go hang out with my friend, and I come back from shopping and I check my Discord notifications, and this owner of the server has put in, if you're uncomfortable with jokes, like jokes, you should leave. Now this rubbed me the wrong way, right? First off, you're demanding that everyone respects your boundary in a way that you did not state that it needed to be respected, expecting me to be telepathic and understanding exactly what your needs are, but then you're going to go on, you're not going to respect anyone else's boundaries, right? I'm personally not comfortable with those jokes. And I send a screenshot to my friend and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, yeah, I'm leaving the server. Because he's also very uncomfortable with these jokes because he has been, and before, and I have been before, and neither of us like these jokes. And so I go on and I confront the Discord server owner and I'm like, so why is it okay for you to make jokes, but I can't make drug jokes? If you read the rules, you would know that I'm okay with jokes.
I also didn't say that you can't make drug jokes. I said you can't seriously talk about drugs. And that's what you and Lola were doing in voice chat. I said you can't seriously talk about substances. I don't care if you make jokes, but you can't seriously talk about it. That's in the rules.
No, you're not, because every time that you were like in the server, in the voice chat, I was making a joke. And then they went on to say things like, I don't care, I'm not going to change who I am just for people's boundaries. Like,
I'm not going to change my rules to cater to other people. This is.
that's kind of insane, buddy. Um, and I'm also texting my friend at this point in time. I'm like, this person really seems like they would make Epstein file jokes. And they were like, they do. He does. This person, Jay, does. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, bro is not alternative. He goes on, he's like, I'm alternative, I'm emo, or whatever. And I am firmly within the beliefs that you are not emo, you are not alternative, you are not any of these subcultures, very political subcultures that generally get grouped in together. You're not any of those if you're willing to make jokes about the Epstein files or disrespect people who are on the same side of you boundaries.
It's not about you. This is about me coping.
Right? So, like, maybe I'm being too thin-skinned, but they also have never been. They have been like SA'd. I think I can say that without getting censored by YouTube, hopefully. In the past, but they were not full on. And both experiences. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm back. He is now banned from my room. But also, I look terrible. I put this video together in like 5 seconds, but I don't remember what I was talking about. Anyways, back to the point that I think I was talking about. Why is it okay for me to have to respect your boundaries, but you don't need to respect anyone else's boundaries because you're the owner of the server? They also go on to say things like, well, this is a toxic server. Okay, well, if it was toxic, then I could go on, I could make drug jokes, and I could make you uncomfortable. But no, I can't do that. And no, I won't do that because that makes you uncomfortable. Because guess what? I'm a good person. Whoa! Shocker, right? That people can actually respect other people's boundaries and not just be douchebags all the time. And, like, this person was actually really nice to me before I called them out on their BS, and they were very proudly showing me, like, all of their stuff, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then after I got off that voice chat, it just all went down. Like, I feel like I have to reiterate this point, because this is, like, my main point. This is, like, the point that should resonate with people. Why is it okay for you to disrespect my boundary, but I have to respect yours just because you've decided that the rules don't apply to you? Yes, you own the Discord server, but that does not make you above anyone else. In fact, that should make you better than everyone else. You should not be disrespecting other people's boundaries and claiming that it's coping when it never actually happened to you. Like, I get it. Sexual assault are both very, very traumatic experiences and can both cause the exact same reactions in a person. But they're also two slightly different things. I don't feel like you can just make that sort of joke if it hasn't actually happened to you. And I don't know, I feel like not enough people understand this, and it really is disappointing. He's scratching at the door. It really is disappointing to see that these are the type of people that are in the communities that are supposed to be the safe spaces, that are supposed to be the ones that are here for you, but instead they decide that because they have this aesthetic, but because they have these political beliefs, even though they're just being groomed by the government to find the Epstein files funny, they think it's okay for them to break the rules. If that makes sense? Like, I feel like everyone should be respectful of other people's trauma and other people's triggers. No matter what political party you're on, no matter what color your skin is, no matter what you believe in religiously, no matter what your identity is, sexually or gender-wise, no matter your name, no matter your culture, it shouldn't be like, well, I'm alternative, so I'm safe to, like, just make people feel unsafe. Like, I don't know if you understand what I'm getting at. I'm autistic. I'm not very good at articulating, like, what I'm feeling. But this is, like, actually really upsetting. And I'm wondering if I'm being too thin-skinned because, like, I have had some very, very traumatic experiences. As a kid, I feel like when I join a server where one of the rules is please don't talk about this because it triggers me, I feel like I should be allowed to say, please don't talk about this because it triggers me. Like, it might not trigger you, but it does trigger me. And we can even flip this. Like, they're triggered by drugs because they experienced drug abuse in the past, or they did abuse drugs, right? I was also around that same sort of thing, also did that same sort of thing as a kid, and it did traumatize me, but it's not a trigger. But it is a trigger for them, and I respect that. But they do not respect that I am triggered by something that similarly happened to them. I'm not saying my trauma is greater than theirs on any level whatsoever. I don't think I got that point across enough, but that, to me, like, I get they're very similar things, sexual assault and rape, but I do not see them as like the exact same thing, right? I don't know how to put it. This is like a hard subject for me to like put into words because it's so controversial, and like I said, I'm autistic, and it, like, I don't write out any of my scripts. Like, I don't have a script. That's the thing. But like, I feel like you can understand what I've gotten across at this point at 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Um if I'm going to respect your triggers, you should also respect mine. Like, isn't that the first thing you learn in kindergarten? The golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. And they kept using the excuse, well, you can leave at any time. When I've stated, like, I've made it very clear that I'm going to leave, but I want to continue having this conversation with them until they realize that they've messed up. But that obviously was an option. It shouldn't matter who you are, who you identify as, what you do. You should always try to be kind to people, except for pedophiles and zoophiles and people like that. But, and murderers, they're bad too. And people who hurt people, I don't feel like you should respect them. But I feel like people should always try to be as kind as possible to anyone and potentially traumatic experiences they've had, and not try to be like, well, my trauma is greater than yours, which I feel like sounds like that's what I was meaning to say at the beginning of this video. That's not what I meant. Like I said, I have a really hard time saying what I mean. Putting thoughts into words is kind of hard. I'm a little stupid, but it shouldn't matter who you are. Your triggers should always be respected, and you should always respect other people's triggers. Like, where has basic human decency gone? I feel like we never had basic human decency, because when creatures are intelligent, I feel like they always seem to go down a path of not quite so good habits or things like that. I don't know if that made sense, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I got my point across. I feel like the main thing you should take away from this video is, don't be a douchebag. Respect people's triggers, and they will respect yours. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.